Hello, everybody. So I just got really inspired. I'm in my work. I'm like in studio time, big hair, my gorgeous golden notebook. And this came to me so clearly. So here I am sharing it. I have experienced neediness. Well, this is pretty crazy here. I have experienced neediness as myself and from women, and it fucking sucks. It feels horrible. It feels sad and painful. And are you needy? So when you're needy, everything you do is laced with that feeling. And when I have felt needy, the third thing I want to do is reach out to anybody. The first two is cry and feel like shit, spend money. And the third thing is speak to people. And I never want to speak to, oh my goodness, hello. I never did, maybe once I did a live. And so it's interesting because I get really triggered by needy. And then today I was washing the dishes and I remembered, oh, I feel needy. But here's the biggest fucking clue. I'm so glad you're here because it feels like I need. Right now I need to be seen. And so what I have found in doing the goddess work and women's work and enchanted work is when you can be a fucking emotional mess with your sisters and in your brotherhood, there's a muscle in your body that knows if I need, I know where to go. If I need, then I know there are people that will be able to hold space for me. Now, the first pussy power tool, which Afua knows very well, is show the fuck up. So moving and I almost said getting rid of neediness, but I want to say like moving it through your body. So owning it takes you showing the fuck up and allowing that mess, allowing that darkness, allowing your people to see you like a mess and not rising above, not giggling over it, not, it's okay. And because I have been through this cycle of trying to deny my neediness, I can spot it a fucking mile away. And it's very hard for me to be in that space because it's very hard for me to be in that space if the goddess is not owning it or the king. I was dating someone and I really felt the neediness and it was a fucking script flip because I was like, oh fuck, that's like, ooh, I know what that feels like. And I realized that when I feel needy, I know exactly what to ask for. And I know who can help me. And it takes owning the neediness. And that is not pretty. It is not fun. There's no glitter. It's dark. It's heavy. There's tons of guilt for dumping it on someone. And that's why I love tribes with the same communication and the same tools, because then you can say, here's what I need. Here's how much time I need. And are you available for that? But what happens if you don't do it that way is you end up going places, hanging out with people, and it slips out like bile, like heavy, murky muck. And then it feels like shit even more because you're like, I think I covered it up. I think I had fun today. It was really good. But actually, you just like had your muck leaking out of your body. And then the other person was like, oh, why do I feel so drained from hanging out? And that's why I'm obsessed with enchantress language. That's why I'm obsessed with words, with goddess language. Yes, allowing your people to see that mess, that darkness, and not push, shove, or shrug it away like, oh, it's okay. I'm so glad you're here. This means it's a divine message. If a fool shows up and takes notes, it's like a fucking blessing. For real. Because I was just like, where do I put this? Like, where do I put this information? So it's crucial to not deal with your mess alone in isolation, because then you're like laying down in the muck with a fucking blindfold on and you're like, wait, what can I do? It takes being witnessed to move it through your body. And it's human to be needy. We have needs. That's not a secret. And if you let a certain need be depleted for so long, it atrophies and then it leaks out like disgusting duty all over the place. Diarrhea, needy diarrhea. Nobody wants to hang out when you have diarrhea. Like, that's gross. But if you say to someone, I'm going to go sit on the toilet, this is a metaphor, or maybe not. I'm going to sit on the toilet. Can you be in the living room so that when I finish in there, I don't have to be alone? That's it. It's like sometimes I don't know. Oh, I love it. I love it. And so it's really important to own it. And it's really important to say to a friend, I feel really needy today. Are you available to hang out with me in that space? I don't even know what I need. Like, knowing what you need takes a lot of work. And then after a while, you're like, oh, I'm in needy diarrhea mood. I need to spring clean, or I need a dance break, or I need to just cry my ass off and somebody hold the tissues. I need to beat the fucking pillow while somebody's in the room with me. And then you tend to know what friends can do that for you. I had such a beautiful moment with a goddess named Trudy. She makes these designer gorgeous dresses. And I was in a workshop, and I used to really deny myself grief, which is very needy. And then I felt the grief coming up and I started crying. But it was like a crying from my head, like my head was hurting. And Trudy came over and she looked at me. We made a consent moment where I was like, yeah, whatever your intuition is, give me it. And she held me to her chest. And the fucking sobs that came out, I was like, yeah, I am fucking releasing some shit that I have been tethered to for so damn long. And it was like the difference of her being 3 feet away and her coming over and holding me to her chest. And that's what I needed to unhinge the sobbing that needed to come out. And we are trained as a fucking culture to hide that mess, to keep it tucked away in the fucked up drawer, to push it away, to drink it away, to eat it away. That's where I am. To shop it away, to gossip it away, and that neediness does not disappear. And what happens is it turns into straight up victimhood. And when you realize that your powerful friends don't want to hang out with you, it's because you are not using your tools and they can see it. Now, am I fairly new? I am really uncomfortable around other people's grief. I know that. So I clearly see when people need support in grief, they do not call me. I'm not the person for that. But I am the person for anger. I am the person for rage, and I'm getting better all the time. So grief is almost, ready to hold space for others. But know your tribe. Know your people. Know what they can hold space for. Know how messy you can get with who. And this takes some practice. So if you're feeling needy and you think that you're going to hang out with a man and it's going to change, nope. If you're feeling needy and you're going to hang out with friends and not tell them you're feeling needy, not going to work. You're going to feel like shit and they're going to be drained. And then you might not see them for a while because they're going to be like, that was not fun. So just own it. Just be like, I'm feeling really needy. Can we go out dancing tonight? I really don't even want to talk. The worst thing to do is to have no container. And then just, here's another worse thing. When you're needy and you don't address those needs, yes. Oh, it's like Nike. Just own it. Just do it. When you are feeling needy, what was I going to say? And then you see a bunch of different friends, and then you keep talking about the shit. It doesn't go away. Now you've just spread your neediness across the board, and everybody is drained because you are not using tools. You're not using a container of time. If you don't know what a container is, it's a set of agreements with a start, a middle, and a finish, so that nobody gets dragged into the dark hole, but everybody goes willingly and they know when it's done. So that's how and why people complain, is because they don't use tools to help themselves. And that's how neediness becomes your thing. And then everyone is like, oh, fuck, and then maybe you're like, oh, fuck. So I want you to first know that it's super okay to have needs. We are not robots. We have needs. And it's super okay to own the neediness. And the next step is owning specifically what you might need, and then finding someone to help you through that so you don't stay stuck in the bog. And it's uncomfortable to share with someone like, hey, I'm sensing that there's a real need from you. Is there something that I can offer you to help? Because you've shared this story several times already, and I don't know what to do. So that's how you can come from a place of loving kindness. If your friend is telling you about the same guy or the same story over and over again, you can just say to them, I'm sensing there's something going on with you, that there's a need, and I'm wondering if I can do anything to support you through it. Just like that. Write that down. Yes, it's super okay to have needs. So I invite you, when you're watching this on the replay or live, if you felt needy, to fucking own it here. I have felt needy. And maybe you know what you're needing. Like, I have felt the need to feel organized. I have felt the need to deal with transition when people pass away. That's what I fucking need. I mean, I have a sister goddess friend who passed away. I don't think I fully dealt with that grief. And I'm like, it's fine. I have her some mailing I was going to mail to her on my altar. I don't know what I'm waiting for. But it's scary to do these things alone. The body won't let you do it. The coping mechanisms that you've learned as a child were like, don't get fucked up and cry. You might get stuck there. So just pretend everything is fine. So let me know what you think about this. Own your neediness. Own it. It's so sexy to own shit in the comments, and maybe own specifically what your neediness is, and use it not as a share of victimhood, but as a share of like, oh, fuck, look, I'm human. And to be in relationship with me means I get messy. And you know what? So do you. And we can both hang out in that separately. If two people are feeling super needy, hanging out together, no good. Not a good idea. And so many women, most of the women that I work with one-on-one in VIP sessions, it always comes up that they just want to be married and have kids. And they are feeling the need for companionship. It's so beautiful to say, I'm needy for companionship. I really need that. Versus waiting till it's so damn late, and then you're waiting for a prince to come save you. Cool. Oh, I love it, Afua. So that is my message for today. I hope you enjoy watching this. I'd love to hear from you. Also in the comments is a way to join my Enchanted Inner Circle. And then you can join the Awkward Academy, which is for awkward and sensitive people who really want to navigate life with more ease, more pleasure, and more joy. All right. If you have any questions, of course, you can write them in the comments too. Have a beautiful day. Afua. Mwah. Bye.